Champion, by definition, is an individual who fights for a cause. These 30 lawyers have upheld their profession's core values of public duty and client service. They've built pro bono practices, acted as bar presidents, taken on community causes, and have held public service positions. They have expanded liberties and protected civil rights.
I was struck when I began working here with the fact that Washington, at that time, had the strongest pro bono culture in the entire United States. And I'm struck by the fact that it continues, despite many, many changes in the structure and economics of large law firms, it continues to have the strongest pro bono culture.
The law schools now raise enough money to support thousands of law students to go and do public interest work during their summer. And once bitten by the bug, that only feeds on itself. Then more people want to do that work, and especially when they graduate and they go on off to either do public interest work or going off to a law firm where they're going to make pro bono part of their practice.
The kind of people who come to Washington, D.C. are people who already care about public policy, good government, public interest, serving the community. The sort of people who come to Washington tend to already have that interest.
Well, one of the terrific things we've been able to do in Washington, D.C. is that we have partnered with law firms and corporations to place lawyers at nonprofit organizations such as the Washington Legal Clinic for the Homeless, or the Legal Aid Society, the Children's Law Center. These are terrific nonprofit organizations, and the young lawyers work in those nonprofits for 2 years on a discrete project. Now, those firms benefit both from the pro bono partnerships that they develop with these young lawyers, but also the fellows continue after their fellowship to stay in those nonprofit organizations.
Transactional pro bono work, which really wasn't even thought about in the late 80s, has now become quite prevalent in DC, and so you see people in DC firms working with community institutions to strengthen the economic future of the city, again, in very exciting ways. So a robust culture has become, I think, even more robust and more remarkable.
I think there's a number of factors that have reflected changes over the last several decades in Washington. One is a tremendous growth of law firms. Our firm started with 37 lawyers 25 years ago, and now we're approaching 300, and we're only mid-sized.
The appetite among law students and young lawyers to go and do public service is at an all-time high. We can't keep up with the demand. Law schools are doing a better job of instilling values and creating opportunities for people to do this work, and then law firms and corporations are sponsoring more opportunities than ever. No matter which administration wins, Democrat or Republican, there's going to be new national service opportunities for lawyers in the next administration.
A lot of organizations that do pro bono work nationwide are located here. So it's a natural step that Washington, D.C. would become one of the leading pro bono cities of the country.